Yo yo, I'm back from 168 consecutive hours of slumber, and I've brought you a tier list video. No one asked for this, but you get what you get, and you don't get upset. This time around, I've put together the absolute dumbest lists I could compile. Let's get into it before the IRS catches me for crimes I may or may not have committed. I did say these were the dumbest lists, so this is what you get. Now, as any good study does, I'll need to tell you my methods of ranking this, as I'm sure everyone cares deeply. My ranking will be based on multiple factors, including but not limited to in-game player model, voice lines, and real-life data. Like I said, I will be using additional factors, but these are the main ones. They say everything is bigger in Texas, but Dallas is not from Texas, and instead from Chicago. I actually live somewhat near Chicago, so I can tell you that everything here is not big. It's pretty average. Except our buildings, those are pretty big. And our murder rates, I guess. Those are pretty respectable too. I've never been to Sweden, so I can't speak for phallus sizes there. However, there are other things of note. Wolf's perk deck is armor, and as I've said before, armorer players have the biggest dicks. It's just a fact. Off this information, we can safely infer that Wolf is packing a sizable schlong. Chains was a Navy SEAL, the toughest of the tough. It takes big balls to be a SEAL, but do big balls mean big cock? In this case, yes. We know this because he is black. Getting cancelled for 2 tier lists in a row, I'm on a roll. Houston is Dallas's brother, which means they will have similar penis sizes. Trust me, I would know. I have 2 sisters. John Wick is a Chad. No one is going to argue. But Payday 2 John Wick is not John Wick, you know? His voice is not the same, and he's significantly less cool. I can only presume that it's because John Wick's Johnson is not very jumbo. Hoxton may have big dick aura, but his big dick status is not there. Hoxton's Willy is just average. I don't really have much to say. Clover is one of those female types, so there's no phallus to be found. Dragon has an interesting voice line.
Acid. You kill him, they're gone.
The radio is near my crotch. My boner pressed the button, not me.
If you look at this image, you can see how far the pager is from the cock area, which already shows off Dragon's massive manhood. But an even scarier thought is that his wiener didn't just reach the button, but had enough extra force to press it. Even more, Dragon adds that his boner pressed it, not him, implying that his boner is actually conscious. Luckily, Dragon was a corrupt cop, so he knows how to keep people down. Just imagine what would happen if such a dangerous cock was left to someone less capable. Okay, look. Hotline Miami jacket. Murders hundreds alone, avoids death from 1 hit, never has to speak to validate his actions. Payday 2 jacket. Dies via multiple hits, and then runs to a doctor bag, usually played by people who get less than 5 kpm per map. Thin and lanky. Has to use a tape recorder to beg teammates for help. Payday 2 jacket isn't Hotline Miami jacket, and his PP is just not very big. Similar to Clover, Bonnie does not have a penis, as she is a woman. I mean, look at this voluptuous female figure. Sokol's perk deck is Grinder, and if you've been around since, whenever Vine was a thing, you might remember the grind on me trend. Not a single one of those guys that did the trend had anything larger than a micropecker. Sokol is also young, so he's the perfect age to have been a Vine user to follow stupid trends. I'm sorry, but look at this wrinkly old man. Jiro is just a boomer, so his Ochinchin has shrunken over the years. Also, he's Asian. Bodhi is just a cool guy. He's confident and outgoing. He does a lot of scary stuff that takes big balls, like base jumping, river rapids surfing, talking to Sydney without considering suicide, surfing huge waves, etc. Bodhi just emanates big dick energy. Jimmy is addicted to some drugs or something, and if you didn't know, drugs do things to your genitals. I don't know what assets Jimmy started with, but they're probably gone by now. You would assume that Sydney goes into the no-dick category with the rest of the women, but I'm not so sure. She has this quote where she tells a cloaker to sit on her dick, which implies something to say the least. I'm not confident enough to say she doesn't have a cock, so I'll just put her in the small category. Another old fart like Jiro. Rust's weenie just ain't it. Similar to Jimmy's case with cocaine, Scarface uses some drug. Now, let's examine the details. Whatever Scarface uses is injected, and has effects to make you stop feeling pain. Painkillers such as morphine can prevent pain, and heroin is made from morphine. Heroin is a drug that is injected. I'm willing to bet that Scarface is actually a crippling addict to heroin. But that's just a theory. A questionable Google search history theory. Look at this man's choice of shirts. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, this screams huge cock. I should probably be concerned if something is yelling huge cock at me, but Sangres is just the Hispanic version of Bodhi. Similar to Sydney, I'm not 100% confident whether a schlong exists on Joy. Yes, she's a woman, but she also has us believe that she's a gamer. As everyone knows, women can't be gamers, so I'm left with the assumption that Joy is just a femboy. You ever heard of Whiskey Dick? Okay, now combine that with Duke's old age. I'm sorry, Duke, but I don't think your wood is even there anymore.
That's quite big.
Need I say more? Hila is another woman, but unlike the past couple, I don't actually think she has a shaft. There's a list that no one ever asked for, but now you know the secrets that even Overkill doesn't. Is that a good thing? I don't know, decide for yourself. I'm just a provider of information. Hey, at least I don't draw Sydney fan art porn, so give me some credit. Speaking of being a provider of information, let's talk about places I've been banned for doing just that. This list is just me walking on ice, seeing how far I can destroy my relationship with Overkill to get blacklisted from them permanently. But what are they gonna do? Ban me? Right, so there was this one guy in the Payday 2 Discord who just had this god status and refused to hear what other people said. He kept saying incorrect information, and I would correct him. His solution was obviously to call me a cheater, since I use mods. We both got banned, despite the mods later telling me in DMs that the other guy was obviously at fault. Here are the rules of the server, and as you can see, naming and shaming other people is not allowed, including in-game cheating. Even though I wasn't cheating, this guy broke the rules before me. This ban was for 3 days. This second one is pretty straightforward. I made a joke in which I said that if you like Crackdown, you probably have autism. I can see why someone would get offended for this, but I can't tell if it's someone being offended over me making fun of Crackdown for being a shit mod, or someone being offended by the autism part. Considering I wasn't targeting it at anyone in particular, I didn't actually break any rules here. Fun fact, this ban was actually directly from Overkill, and not an Overkill moderator, as I later found out. This ban is one of my 2 permanent bans, and if you realize there's something wrong with that phrase, then you'd be right. One day, Sprin asked the question of, is the Payday community toxic? To which everyone replied yes. I decided it would be funny if I answered with, no, KYS. Considering I've known Sprin for a long time, I was confident that he wouldn't take the joke the wrong way. As you can see, the bot auto-removed my message, but people wanted to see what I said. After I told them through an alternate method, well, I got banned for bypassing the chat filter, which is not in the rules. This detail will become relevant later. This ban was for 30 days. After having come back to the server 30 days later, having understood that comedy was illegal, as 2 of my 3 bans were from jokes, and the 3rd wasn't even my fault, I donned a new nickname. Take a guess for how long that lasted. Anyway, there was a period in which people were randomly being banned for stuff that was not in the rules. Creepy was banned for sending a video of him dying on Goat Sim. Yokai was banned for referring to a certain player once, even though he didn't slander or insult. Uncle was banned for something he did 6 months ago, and many, many more. Even Sprin from earlier was banned. For some reason, these ban victims migrated to my Discord server, and some of them are still there today. All of these people were banned for stuff that isn't in the rules of the server, so that brings up the question, on what grounds were they banned? Well, it seemed like mods and admins just fired off bans to people on a whim for no reason. It was pretty obvious. Every time I mentioned one of these bans occurring for no real reason in the chats, I guess someone was watching. The result of this being that I was banned for the reason of saying other people were banned for no reason. Now, I'll have you know that this is not in the rules, much like the reasons everyone else was banned for. Kind of ironic. Anyway, crowning achievement for this is that an actual Overkill employee put out a statement regarding my ban, and how they totally aren't banning people for no reason. I've also heard that people got banned for referring to me, but that seems a bit conspiratorial, and I don't know if it actually happened. Anyway, this was my second permanent ban. Here's an extra little ban that relates to a different Payday 2 server. You know the Payday 2 subreddit? Well, they have a Discord. That Discord is filled to the brim with misinformation. I was one of the few people actually correcting others, and I guess the helpers didn't like the fact that they were just spouting nonsense. Hell, I even helped fix their terrible build templates. Anyway, apparently I created an unwelcoming atmosphere. That's my history of bans on Payday 2 servers, with some strange achievements overall. Will sharing this get me in trouble? Probably, but it's content, so I must. There was also another ban I got on a Payday Builds Discord for saying Stoic was better than Anarchist, but I don't have any screenshots of that, so I didn't really mention it. It's also not very entertaining to just get banned by an anarchist circle jerk for telling the truth. Have you ever played in a lobby where another player annoys you? Of course you have. Should you just leave? Probably. But let me tell you that there is another option. That being to dig in your heels and fuck with them until they end up leaving instead of you. This can be applied to cheaters or just nonces you find in pubs. Now, this list is dangerous, so be warned using these strategies, as you may be deemed a toxic gamer. A time-honored tradition that is basically Overkill approved. This is as simple as playing Hacker, Tag Team, or Crew Chief. These decks all mess with Zerk users to the point of them possibly just quitting. Now, unfortunately, there are mods like Hacker Cancer and CC Cancer, which counteract all your attempts. Except Maniac. For now, at least. By God, does nuking the fuck out of your teammates work to get them out of the lobby. Or at least into custody and off your screen. That said, it does require you to bring a commando, which means you can't really do it mid-heist. This results in you either needing to just know that you're lobbied with some dipshit, or for both of you to stay until the next game. This one is hilariously easy and works best on first aid kit users. They put a first aid kit down, you take it. You can do this with doctor bags by just wasting those precious charges, and ammo bags by wasting bullet storms. For maximum effect, make sure to always take the last use of bullet storm, as that's the most important part of the ammo bag. There are many ways to fuck with objectives. Taking bags to the opposite area, not going to escape zones, you get the picture. This only really works to fuck with hosts though, so odds are it won't get out random people. You also just have a chance of being kicked, which is not great.
Have you forgotten what pain looks like? Try again.
Can I repeat what they said to me?
That's such a dumb troll.
Oh, now they're figuring it out.
You've got to use the cameras to find pain. It's a dozer.
I'm very confused why he didn't spam.
Medic is down. It's a dozer.
Maybe because he felt a little sorry because he had to say that I'm stupid, but he wasn't sure how to thank me for hitting him with a thermite. Because in all technicality, he did grab the thermite after I grabbed it on the first time.
Some maps in this game can be bricked, or at least slowed down drastically. When you pick up mission-related stuff, the game won't let you lose them. For example, if someone picks up meth ingredients and leaves cook-off, the ingredients just stack to the host. However, sometimes the game messes up. Here's a fun trick you can do for a lesso. Have one batch of C4 while all the other C4 is already picked up. Now, leave. For some reason, the game doesn't consider the last 2 C4 essential. One of them most certainly is, as you can't progress without at least 9 C4. Congrats, you've bricked the heist. The host has no choice but to restart. There are some other maps that can do this to some extent, like the second thermite on First World Bank, but they don't brick the map as much as just impede it. I don't know why this bug hasn't been fixed, or I don't know, maybe it has. The last time I played Alesso was months ago. Unfortunately, you do need to leave for this to work, but you can rejoin to see the mess. It's sure to annoy anyone in that lobby having to restart for no reason. Speaking of leaving and rejoining, you can do this to your heart's content. Bonus points if your internet is slow and you take forever to load. This makes all the players in the lobby just sit there waiting for you to load, only for you to leave again. Rinse and repeat for an infuriating experience. Even worse, the host will struggle to ban you if you can do this fast enough, as you will keep appearing and disappearing from the player list. Nobody likes chat spam. It's fucking annoying. So why not create more of it? There are multiple ways of doing this, but let's go over the unintentional way people end up doing this first. PocoHUD is an incredible HUD mod, but it does have this horrendous feature that can announce things to the chat. Poco is super old, which means its settings aren't in the mod options menu, but rather in its own menu. Press backspace, go to chat, and turn everything on to announce to all. Play any lobby with this and it'll make others just livid. Another way you can do this is manually. There's a way you can copy-paste into the chat of Payday 2 that not too many people know, and that's with the insert key. Copy whatever pasta you want and just spam it everywhere you go. Both of these methods make people want to cut their internet connection just so they never need to deal with you. And that's basically the effect I'm going for. I'll leave you with this last and most powerful method. Be warned, this is a dangerous tool. I will not be providing links to it, but if you search hard enough, you'll be able to find it. That said, only use this on cheaters, because normal people don't deserve this no matter how much of a nonce they are. The best part about it is that even after you leave, the effect doesn't go away. I can't even count the amount of cheaters I've made leave the game with this simple little mod, and for me, there is no greater success.
I have a plan that will... The East Coast, including this motel down in...
You fuck with me, I fuck you! You!
Jackpot! I've got a plan to pry that baby open. I'll contact Vile right away. After a Russian mobster, calls himself the Commissar. He's got criminal interests all over the East Coast, including this motel. The Commissar.
All in all, there are a lot of ways to fuck with people in this game, and realistically you should just leave the lobby. When it comes to other players, I do just that. However, when I find a cheater, I will make their life a nightmare. On multiple occasions I've followed hosts through many lobby resets, messing up their games over and over. Remember, the best thing you can do is waste a cheater's time. Well, if I haven't been in hot water before, this video is likely to get me into it. This video is most certainly going to make me out to be a dickhead, but I just love messing with people. Chaos is just so much fun, I can't hold myself back sometimes. I make videos for the sake of entertainment first, so try not to take what I say in these tier lists to heart. This whole video is more of a shitpost. That said, I think I'm done with these tier lists, at least for the time being. As you can see by the lists I had here, and how ridiculous they were, this is about as obnoxious as I'm willing to get. I'll see you all later in more normal videos.